Sawadee Ka. Welcome to the Think Pink podcast. I've been umming and ahhing as to when I was going to post this one, but I knew this guest had a fight coming up and I was waiting for the announcement. I knew where and whatnot. I couldn't remember the date, so I waited for the announcement of the fight, and so decided to put this out week of the fight. So this week I have the ever-talented Gabrielle Ramos. A big reason for wanting her on here, aside from the fact that she's my friend and she's entertaining to watch and all the other stuff, is that she is a genuine influencer, and I'm really wanting to find out more. Really wanted to find out more about what it's like for her being a genuine influencer and having the responsibilities that come with being that person. I hope you really enjoy this one. Don't forget to do the whole like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. All helps me grow, and helps me continue to do this stuff. So comment if there's any other topics you'd like me to discuss.
Okay.
So
cool.
yes, so how beautiful is the view up here?
It was nice. There's no horsies though today.
I wonder, do people bring them here, or is it like...
I'm assuming so.
You don't pay your stabling fees here, I guess, because it'd probably send you broke, but...
I feel like horses usually need like a bit of normal, like not racing ground
true.
To
relax
or something.
To relax. There's one not far from my place, like where like the racetrack's across the road, but then everyone stables them across from there, and they got like pools to go in and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
And a dude who I met at the Thai temple years ago, his job was to train horses. So like it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, getting there to bathe them and all that sort of stuff. And
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So Sydney, yeehaw. 3-hour drive for you, is that about right?
It was from here to the gym, at least. It was only like 2.5.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
How far do you live from the gym?
25 minutes, which is like for Canberra far.
Yeah. That's like an Adelaide far as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Adelaide's a 20-minute city. Yeah. It's better than living in Queanbeyan, I guess.
Yeah, and it's good because we don't Queanbeyan's really close to the gym, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. 'Cause that's where I stayed when I came over for that time. Yeah. And that's where we stay when we go. Like Josh is fighting tonight in Canberra. My boy Josh.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Why aren't you over there?
Because I was coming here.
Fair enough.
Trainer of the year. So, where are you at right now with like your training, your fighting, anything in the mix?
There is something in the works.
Yet to be announced.
I'll say it's 4 weeks away.
Okay. That's soon.
But yeah, it is yet to be announced.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been training for that.
Yep.
It is Muay Thai, which is good.
Nice.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, nice.
Doing Muay Thai.
Yep.
I didn't like elbow at all for like the last 3 months of last year. So.
How did you feel about fighting kickboxing? Because I fought kickboxing as well. Like I fought it in China and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how did you feel about it as a whole? Like, was it just nothing but hatred, or was it was okay?
No. It was super exciting. I think it's very different to my normal style. But it did force me to do a lot of things that I needed to work on anyways, like going first, being a bit more aggressive, just doing more. Which, isn't always like the way to do things in Muay Thai, because obviously like quality over quantity.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not more is more recipe.
Like,
kickboxing is a bit more of a more is more recipe.
Yes. Yeah. So there was a steep learning curve, but it did really push me to get better at the things that I needed to get better at.
How far out from that fight was it organised? How far in advance did you know you were fighting kickboxing?
I think we kind of knew-ish that it might happen we knew for about 4 weeks, but it wasn't confirmed. We just said maybe.
Yep.
And then I think when it finally got announced, it was maybe 7 weeks.
Okay.
Which is like a
Oh, so you're still like 10 weeks to get over the trauma of knowing you're trying to look.
Yeah. The only thing that we did have an issue with was I was coming back from some like pretty shitty injuries.
Yeah, surgeries and stuff, right?
Yeah, surgeries, but also when I fought in Thailand, I tore my shoulder and like got like a little grade 1 tear in my MCL.
Oh shit.
Which sucks, but yeah, so I kind of had to train around that for the start of the camp, and then I'm just so used to training with injuries now that it's like.
So, you know, I was the same, like some people they just get injuries.
Yeah.
Like, did you know, straight up question, were you almost on your period when you got your injury, like with your knee and your shoulder? Do you know?
And I think I speak about this like, maybe not as often in like public videos and stuff, but I actually like really struggle with my period. Like last year, I think I only had it maybe 3 times.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for someone who doesn't cut weight, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And I think even before I started Muay Thai, I was always irregular. So it didn't really like help.
Yep.
But since my kickboxing camp, I've had like my period like for 3 months in a row. I'm still waiting for my next one. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's going good. Ever since I started with like a nutritionist, it's helped me.
Yep.
But yeah, female bodies are just...
Oh, it's totally different kettle of fish,
everyone is so different.
It's so different.
Yeah, so I found I've always struggled with it. But yeah, I do think my like irregularity with my periods and stuff like don't help my injuries.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you find, do you struggle with mental stuff as well because of, is it hormone related, or is it just like some other issue, or
I think
not sure?
I mean, it's like they all kind of have, all of those symptoms kind of like are together with this stuff. Like, I think, hormonally it does, I guess like because I'm like losing it all the time, I'm lacking like the right hormones and stuff, which doesn't help when you're trying to build muscle.
100%.
Like you're trying to, you know, not even just build muscle to get stronger, but just build muscle
conditioning.
to
and repair injuries. Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like getting injuries has definitely like been a little bit because of that. Also, I am like fairly small, training
You're
with
tiny.
like training with like pretty big guys, and I think because I am so small, and to be honest, when I fight, I don't actually get too injured. That you just back it up like, all the time, and then
it's like you almost you're the old school way, like we always just got this injury now, right, on to the next thing, like it's just ignore that for a few weeks while I'm preparing the rest of my body. And it's weird, like I struggle hormonally as well, like I have almost zero testosterone production. Like, you know, there's a simple trick to jab and I don't do it. I'm going to get to a point where I have to though. But definitely, like mine is obviously 2 main things is drugs, and on top of that, like CTE. CTE stops your testosterone production as well. But yeah, like I couldn't imagine, because females are more emotional beings as it is, you know. Like yous are made to be, I believe, more loving than a man, and more like all the emotions are meant to be more intense, you know. So when your hormones are all over the shop, fuck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I guess as a fighter, you're just meant to really like not think about those things, and you're just meant to like get on with it and stuff. And I find that really important with, like, for example, with Kieran, my coach, like he's never made me feel bad for like having, like he kind of always knows if I'm on it, like on my period, like he just knows even sometimes before I do. And it's really good to have like an open relationship with that stuff with your coach, because
I think it's so important too.
He's just so, like, it's not like he treats me any different or anything.
No.
He's just more understanding if I'm like really lacking energy or...
I've heard him talk about it a lot. I've spoken to him about it a lot as well. I'm yet to have a female student who, you know, a fighter who has the extremes of, like, before my missus was fighting, she used to be unbearable as a human, like 2 days out from getting her period, like really bad. Like I was like to the point where man, I just play on. I go, oh, you're getting your period in 2 days, and like, you know, she'd snap at that, but I was always right with it. Right? But since her getting fitter and healthier, like that all got sorted. Like now it's very rare. Yeah. Very rare. Like sometimes, you know, the kids will go, do you reckon mum's getting her period? Like, but we're a very open household about that. Yeah. Like, I mean, I've got a 11-year-old daughter who gets her period, and
it needs to be talked about more.
For sure. And it's like, oh, Dad, can you please grab me a pad or whatever? I'm like, yeah, no worries, yeah, sweet. Yeah, like, or rings me, like she's at school or whatever. It's like, Dad, I've got my period, I'm at school. Like, yeah, no worries, yeah, cool, I'll be there. Yeah. You know, like, it's, why is it taboo? Yeah. You know, like.
It definitely needs to be, way less taboo, because it's such a natural thing, and it does affect you as a person, and it affects men as well.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, I have to put up with my wife.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, most Muay Thai coaches in the world, if not, you know, in the country, are men. Yeah. You know, you guys are training women and whatever, but.
And it's our job to understand that stuff, like, and be accepting and be, you know, it's not like, just fucking push through it, fucking. Yeah. Sorry, we're not in the 90s anymore, mate. Like. There's actually understanding of how this shit all works, and.
Yeah. And even like the cutting weight aspect, like for example in Japan, and we're about to release the vlog that I made when we fought in Japan. I missed weight by like 150 grams or something, and I was on my period for like 3 weeks before it. So that's just like an example, like because I don't get
so
it
irregular,
often,
then when it comes, it comes.
Yeah. So because I don't get it often, you get it for such a long time, and sometimes, and you know, like I don't. Like, it was a hard weight. It was also my first, like, time cutting water weight. Like, I've never done that before.
Yeah, you've always fought up in weight and stuff, and that, anyway, right? Like, whatever you've been given, whatever you can get.
Yeah. And, it definitely didn't help. And cutting weight in Japan is hard as well. You know, like, most saunas don't let you in if you're a girl.
And if you're a guy with tattoos.
And especially if you're a girl with tattoos. Especially if your tattoos aren't coverable by, like, small stickers, which mine aren't. So, I think we learnt that the hard way. It was good. There was a lot of lessons in it, but it's a good like.
The lesson thing, like, it's such a huge part of this sport in general, though, right? Like, if you're not taking lessons from every experience, good or bad, like, it actually helps us develop as better humans too, because whether it be the resilience from the fuck ups, or whether it be knowing how to manage your life better because you've had to micromanage for so long. You learn how to manage so many different aspects of your life, and that. Onto the management thing, like, how do you fit, you know, this is obviously my number one subject for this conversation that I was thinking, how do you fit the social media thing into life?
It's a hard question. Honestly, it's very hard for everyone watching. It's actually really hard.
Because I've got 2 YouTube channels. I've got my Instagram, my Facebook. I struggle. Yeah. And I've got kids, so that's where I struggle the most, like taking the time away from my kids. Now it's like 9 p.m. till 1 a.m. I'm doing all my video editing so that I'm not taking away from my kids.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. But it sucks for me because I need the sleep for my hormones and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and even for your kids as well.
Yeah.
Even for your social media.
Yeah, you know, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. To be honest, like, it's kind of just like every year it changes. You know, like when I first started getting into the whole social media stuff, I didn't mean to. You know, I just like was posting my silly little pad videos, and they got attention, and so we just started to kind of like stick to it, and now it's brought us to here, which is great. But I've got to say, as a professional athlete, it's really hard.
Yes.
Because like even a professional athlete that works, you know, outside of sport is also like another kettle of fish. You know, like, is it kettle of fish or cuddle of fish?
Kettle. Okay, different kettle of fish. Yeah, I don't know what it means, but it's like whether you're putting fish in the kettle when you're boiling the kettle or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, cool. It is hard, like, to find time and energy. For doing that is so hard. Like, I think a lot of the very successful social media influencers in the martial arts industry at the moment, to be honest, aren't fighters. And
this is true.
They do great content, and it's like really inspiring to see. But sometimes I think about how like where they find the time, and then I realize they don't fight. Whereas, you know, you're cutting weight, you know.
Yeah, like, and you're like, I can't be fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't have the creative energy when you're tired.
I sometimes get to like, you know, these come out every Thursday.
Yeah.
I've got to like 11 p.m. on a Wednesday night. I still haven't even started editing a video. I still haven't recorded one before.
Yeah.
And I've recorded at like 11 p.m. on a Wednesday night. And like not last week before was my car accident one, which was a solo one. And I was just like, guys, the reason why I haven't been prepared is because my mics were still in my car. I don't want to do it without the mics because the sound is shit. And like some people listen on like YouTube Premium, so it's because I only have them on YouTube for the first bit, and then I put them onto Spotify as well. I'm like, I don't want to have it like echoey through my phone and that kind of stuff. So I just didn't do it, and then I was like, fuck, I better still put one out. I wasn't going to do one that week. I was pissed off. My car was fucked. I was like sore. My neck was fucked. My back was fucked. And it's like, but also that responsibility that you've created within yourself to actually follow up with what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing with the social media, well, I had this conversation with Davey, my fiance Davey.
My beautiful man. I had him first.
I was having this conversation with him. It's like not posting for like maybe 3 days for me is like sometimes like usually not very good. Like you have to maintain and like be present. And sometimes it's so hard because, you know, you just want to take a break from being on your screen or
for sure.
creating something that's, you know, might get like a lot of likes or might not, and then it just that dumps your feelings as well. So
how have you found, like, while we're talking about the likes thing, I remember going to a Kerwin Ray, rest in peace, seminar years ago talking about the social media, like it was on social media and teaching a few little bits, and like it was like a course, not a course, but like a seminar to teach you some of the tricks on how to make it work. And I remember him saying like there'll be these girls doing whatever, they'd get like, you know, they're getting their 300 likes on a post, they put up a G-string shot and all of a sudden it's 10,000 and then it's back, then they're like, oh fuck, I don't get enough likes on my other stuff. But it's like, are they serving you purpose? Yeah, exactly right. Like, I understand, you know, you go to the beach, you're in a bikini, you post that kind of stuff. It's part of your life. And people want to see part of your life as well, you know. They want to see that you're not just the Muay Thai girl. That's kind of, even in my life, people need to see that I've got an outside life other than Muay Thai. Because people need to be able to relate to someone.
Exactly.
So, but in the early days, did it used to bother you? Like when the difference in, because you're an attractive young lady, and but it's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm, you know, like you draw attention. Like people go, like one of the girls at the gym goes, oh, you should get that TikTok girl on. I'm like, who are you talking about? And she's like, she's from Canberra. I'm like, oh, Gabrielle, I've actually got her on this week. Like, yeah. So it's like you know, you have a look that draws attention, and you do the work that draws attention. Do you find that is a bit of a head fuck though? Like the whole.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Like
it's like a constant battle of like
the whole do I have a zit, like, you know, that kind of thing, you know, like, oh, do I have a blemish, do I have to always look good or whatever, you know?
I think the really good thing about being an influencer in like the martial arts world is that
there's a lot of reality. There's a lot of sweaty, messy hair,
and you know, people watch my fights and see me get, you know, like get cut or like you know, like get dropped, and like you can't hide that.
No, you can't.
You know, it's like, whereas a lot of other types of influence out there just edit every single photo, but like as a fighter you can't, you know, you are 100%. Your whole self. And I've really tried to show my life in all aspects on social media, because yes, as you said, you know, like people follow me not just for Muay Thai, but just because I am relatable as a person. I really think that's like, I think that's probably one of my favorite things about having this influencer job, that even though it feels like, okay, there's a random bunch of people out there in the world that I don't know follow me, they are following me because, you know, I'm relatable.
Yes.
Or I have a life that's very similar to theirs.
What about the random thing where people come up to you and talk to you like we just experienced it with me just before? I have no idea who that was.
Yeah.
Like that lady, I have no idea who that lady was who said, "Oh, Pinky." Like, but you know when people, they see you so often on social media that they actually, or they've messaged you once, they've got an imaginary relationship. Like they've messaged you once or twice or something, and it's like I reply and I give people the time of day, and it's like, hey man, I'm like, I have no idea who this is.
Yeah.
Like cool, like it makes me feel nice and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy because it means that, you know, I'm reaching to people and people can either relate to me or whatever. But it's like, it's also a little bit scary. Yeah. Like everyone seems to know me, but I don't know any of them, which I've put myself out there to be known. Like, you know, I'm pretty open about a lot of the negative sides of my life and all that sort of stuff because I want people to see that you can start shit and you can, you know, a lotus flower comes from the muddy bottom and comes out to be a beautiful thing. Yeah. And I want to try and, that's what I'm trying to show, you know, like, and I ain't talking about this being beautiful. I'm talking about like what I try and do with society and how I try and help my side, like, but that people knowing us without really knowing us.
Yeah, it's an odd feeling.
Because I find, like, you know, I know you quite well. I know Davey really well, and for me, it's like you are very genuine on your social media, and you don't, you know, a lot of people put up there, oh, you know, my missus and this and that, and or my other half, but all they do is Barney, like, they fight, they just fight, they hate each other. Yeah. But it's like that whole, whereas you guys are lovey-dovey, so it's like the way you put that across and use. That's probably the most important lesson for people if they're going to be doing the social media thing is be authentically you, but also unapologetically you. I am a, like, for lack of a better word, like, because, you know, well, like at the end of the day, your feelings are your problem, right? Yeah. Like, and that's who I am. Like, if I've hurt your feelings, it's probably something that might need to be worked on then, right? Yeah. So it's, but that's who I am. And then you're like, hey, I'm Gabrielle. You know, like you're like the lovely little Asian girl who, like. But I love that you show like your family, your extended family over there, and your history, and you know, this is where I grew up, and you're wearing a pair of sloppy shorts and a t-shirt, and you know, like I love that stuff. But also sometimes it can be hard to not get caught up in the bit that everyone wants to see of you. So like for me, everyone wants to see me being inappropriate. Everyone loves me being inappropriate. That's probably my, if I'm doing that, straight away views up, everything's up. Like I don't, you know, I'm obviously not chasing views. Obviously the views help because that's how I get paid. Sure, but I don't want to always just be that guy.
It's so tiring.
Yeah. Like my early rants were just, everyone was a piece of shit. And people loved that. Yeah. And I got like triple the views on that than I do on my stuff where I'm actually genuinely caring, you know, like, because I do have that side of me. I am a caring guy. I love deeply, and I you know, I'm not a handshaker, I'm a hugger, I'm a, you know, like, I'm that guy. Yeah. But I'm also, but it's, trying to always, like, you very easily get suckered into trying to fit into that box that you've almost created ourselves, right?
Yes, for sure.
And I'm nothing, like, on social media, I'm nothing compared to that. Like, what do you got, 220,000 Instagram?
I don't know.
Something like it's a lot.
Yeah.
So do you get paid through Instagram?
I get paid not like through every post, but more like brand deals and stuff. So when companies reach out to me and want to do like work together, that's like mostly how I do it. Obviously I have like a couple sponsors that help me more so with my fighting and stuff. But that's the main
How did you, because you did that footy thing, right? The
AFL or the Rexona? Or the FIFA one?
No. It would have been the AFL one. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know much about soccer and stuff, so I kind of just scroll past
I
on
don't
that
know
shit.
that much about AFL.
Yeah, I kind of noticed. I don't know anything about AFL either. Like, honestly, like
okay.
I grew up watching it.
Okay.
Literally ran into one of my childhood heroes
Yeah,
a
that's
few
so
weeks
cool.
ago because my son had
Wow.
lost his watch, and the last address that it was registered at was this dude's address.
That's so
Rock up
cool.
there and end up being like a superstar from the Adelaide Crows back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, really weird. But I used to love it growing up.
Yeah.
And then now the only other sport I really watch is basketball. But
Oh.
yeah, like NBA stuff. I pretty much watch NBA every day.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's
to
cool.
watch. It's
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, like, fuck, I forgot where I was going with that, Too many punches in the head.
That.
Yeah, like how did that come about? That's
Yeah,
right. No,
so I have a great talent agency that
Okay,
helps
cool.
manage my stuff.
Yep.
They reached out to me maybe like 2 years ago to help manage like brand deals and stuff for me.
Yep.
Which is great because they do like a lot of the admin side for me.
Yeah, nice.
Which is really good. Like I said, as a fighter, it's so much harder
Yep.
to do that stuff by yourself.
Yep.
And they're really great because they only have they only work with talent that has talent. So they're called the Gifted Group,
Okay.
which is great. So most of their guys are like athletes or
Cool.
artists, some chefs and stuff, which
Yeah.
is really cool. Yeah,
You've
so-
got to have talent in what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just anyone will do and we'll try and
Yes.
get you jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think there's a lot of influencers out there that don't
Just talk good.
they just don't really have like a passion or a talent, and I think that my talent agency really aims to uplift the people who have things to inspire people with,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yep.
So yeah, they've been helping me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they got me the
That's right, keep going.
AFL one.
Yep.
And yeah, they're great. I'm working with Gatorade this year, which is
Nice.
really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's like lots of cool things in the works. Like I've done some stuff with like Lego, which was like I know that I won't get you started, but that was really cool, and they were super lovely to work with.
Speaking of Lego, so my birthday was the other week, like the
Yeah.
day I crashed my car. My wife was out shopping with the kids,
Yeah.
not for birthday presents,
Yeah.
but growing up, do you know who Ayrton Senna is? So he died in 1990, like a F1 driver, really
Yeah.
famous F1 driver. 94, sorry. There's a special edition Lego of his car with him, a little figurine of him,
That's
and my daughter was like, "Dad, really? That was Dad's hero as a kid, you know?" Like, and I got it for my birthday. Yeah, so yeah, it's sick. I
that's
wouldn't let
so
anyone help me build it. It
sweet.
was the one I wanted to do myself, you know.
I was about to say.
Normally they help me, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No,
I
yeah.
have this like one Lego set that Davey got me for my birthday last year, and I still haven't built it because I want to like really like sit down and just like
Yes.
feel it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't had that headspace yet. It's just a little Spider-Man set.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice. There's so much cool stuff in Lego though. Like
Yeah,
it's expensive.
Yes.
Like
It is.
I've probably spent. My missus doesn't watch this, so it's all right. 15 to 20 grand on Lego, I reckon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But also like that got me through like lockdown times and that. Like I was doing Lego.
Yeah.
Like when I was pissed off about the gym being closed
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. I did a lot of Lego stuff then.
And like I said it in some of my old Lego videos, but it's a great way to just switch off.
It is.
From
Because you have to concentrate on what you're
life.
doing.
Yeah.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, especially like as a fighter when you're like constantly just like your mind is going like 100 all the time. Like
Yep.
when you're in the gym and you're like always thinking about training hard, and then when you get home you're thinking about dieting, and then thinking about getting ready for the next day with all your training. So it's nice to just like switch off.
Yep.
Which I have found like super beneficial. Actually, last year Davey got me into the NRL,
Oh yeah, cool.
and I really, really enjoyed it. It's
Nice.
kind of like fighting, but
Yeah.
there's a bunch of guys doing it.
Yeah.
So I
It's like,
really enjoyed it.
how many people are on the field at the time? I don't know. No
I
idea.
don't know.
I got no idea about NRL whatsoever.
I'm still learning all the rules.
I had
but I've been really enjoying
I had an
it.
ex-Rabbitoh fight for me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, had a fight for me once, so that was pretty
So
cool.
sick.
Yeah, he also
Was he
captain.
good?
He was alright, big heavyweight boy. He
Yeah.
actually captained Russia in the World Cup as well. Like he was Russian blooded. And
Oh, the
captained,
World Cup, like Rugby
years and
World
years.
Cup.
Yeah,
That's
Rugby World Cup
sick.
years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like he just started as a PT client and in Bangkok and
That's
yeah.
so sick.
Yeah. But it's like the thing is, I didn't realise until I'd kind of cooked myself, and I almost walked away from Muay Thai about probably 12, 13 years ago now. I was still living in Thailand at the time, but I was just done.
Yeah.
And I realised when I came back to Australia that the reason why I was done is because I didn't have a pastime.
Yeah.
Like, it had become so much of my life that I didn't have that extra thing to do, which distracted me from, because that's at the end of the day, it is your work.
Yes.
Like, no matter how much I love Muay Thai.
That's so true.
Like, but I need things, which is like, now for me it's camping, it's you know, family holidays, and I don't care like if I spend every cent I make on going on holidays, because it just takes me away from Muay Thai long enough for me to still be in love with it.
Yeah.
You know, and man, Muay Thai comes before everything. Like, it really does.
Yeah.
Like, ask
Especially
my
when
wife.
you've been doing it for such a long time, you know.
And but when I was in Thailand, it was Muay Thai. If it wasn't Muay Thai, then I was working singing, or I was working acting. I was doing whatever it took to make money. I didn't have anything fun to do.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have a pastime.
Yeah.
And you know, one of those things has been Lego, and then, you know, camping, that sort of stuff. But now I'm way more mellowed and evened out because of it, you know, having that distraction. And which, once again, we get back to the social media thing. You know, my old downtime is now not downtime because it's
that's so true.
doing more work, which is, do you do a lot of your editing on your phone, or do you do it on a computer?
I do it like all on my phone at the moment.
Is it killing your eyes?
On my phone. It does a little bit.
Yeah.
I try to spend a lot of time outside, like looking at the sun.
Good.
Not directly the sun, but you know, like a lot of like outdoor time.
Good.
It's not overly too bad. I used to work like this office job like most of my week, and I feel like that really killed me.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know what it is, but I feel like computer screens are worse.
No,
than
do you know
phone screens.
what's worse than that? The lighting. The lighting is really like all these like LED halogens, all those things are so bad for your eyes. They're actually so bad for your endocrine, whatever system or whatever it's called. It's actually really unhealthy.
So yeah. If I find that I'm like squinting too much, that's when I'm like, oh, I've spent too much time.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like you said, the social media stuff, like when it has become your job, like Muay Thai has now become my job, it can so quickly become tiring.
Yes.
And you don't want to lose passion for
No.
you know,
100%.
that. So yeah, like it's super important to, you know, go hang out with friends.
Yeah, for sure.
And spend some alone time as well.
Yeah,
So,
but this is another big thing. A lot of people do whatever it takes to not be alone, because most people find the scariest person to be with is themselves.
Yeah.
So they want to distract themselves instead of actually enjoying their own company.
Yeah.
And enjoying your own company isn't there on your phone, isn't watching TV, isn't reading a book. It's sitting at the park and watching things fly by, and like where you're just you and your thoughts.
Yeah, when you have like time to reflect and like internally talk to yourself.
Yeah. And that's the stuff it's actually healing. It's like I have someone who I love very much right now going through a pretty evil breakup, and it kind of, you know, he tried to allow me the I told you so, because I warned him off of it because it was a rebound thing.
Yeah.
And you know, that it is what it is. Like he made that choice.
Yeah.
And I said, we have a mutual friend, and I said to that mutual friend, like, I go, look, I don't support him doing this relationship. He's got kids. He shouldn't have introduced his kids to this woman. But we just got to be there when it falls apart.
Yeah.
Because it was always going to.
Yeah.
But then he started like, oh, I'm trying to find pastime. I go, no, just be you.
Yeah.
Go down and sit at the beach.
Yeah.
Like the nights you got off away from the kids, go and enjoy the beach. Go and just sit there by yourself. Dive into the water. Be alone with your thoughts. Cry when you need to cry.
Yeah.
Do it, because that's how you get better.
For sure. Like that's like real self-growth.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like if you are always searching to be happy with other people, it's like
you can't be happy with other people if you're not happy with yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
that's so true.
You can be laughing and you can be smiling and you can, because you're entertained by these people.
But by the time you go home and you're by yourself again, you're just like,
even when you're in a relationship, if you don't love yourself, there's a point where your missus is asleep next to you.
Yes.
And you're there by yourself.
Yes.
And that was with me and my ex-wife, that was the time when I cried the most, when she was asleep. Because that's when I had the time to myself and I hated myself.
Yeah.
And it was when she was awake, I was distracted enough to think I was having a good life,
Yes,
you know?
Yes, that's
and
true.
it's that alone time is so important.
For sure.
Like, because to love anyone else, you have to love yourself.
Yeah.
To love
And that's with
something, you have to love yourself.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no matter if you're not into Muay Thai, if you're into something else, or if you're, you know, like not trying to get away from social media, like if you're passionate about something, at some point it will burn you out.
Yes.
And that's just because you are passionate about it and you're just pouring all of your time
Yeah,
into
your
it.
emotions are,
Yes.
you're emotionally invested in it, so
Yes.
it is burning out your emotions.
Yeah, but if you don't give yourself like time to recharge,
Yeah.
then yeah.
You didn't happen to see the video I put up a few days ago, maybe a week ago now. It was with my wife speaking Thai in the car.
No, I didn't see it.
And she's talking about like, I didn't even realise like it was actually a video thing that she was doing, but I think she was using one of my cameras, and we're driving along. We did a Geelong trip the other week, and she talks about like, no matter how shit her day's been at work and how long her day's been at work, going to training feels better. Like, and then she goes on to like, my missus comes out with some pretty profound stuff, which is very rare in a Thai, honestly.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, it doesn't have to be Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a fighter. You just have to have something
Yeah.
that you do when you finish work, so that it's not work, go home and
Yes.
dwell over work.
Yes.
Like, there's got to be something you do, whether it be reading a book out in the great outdoors.
For sure.
You know, being active is probably your best option, no matter how
Yes.
tired you are. Doing some exercise, because you know, in the early days, I used to talk about my wife was the proof that if you don't exercise, you're not a good human to be around. Like, she was the dead set proof of that. Like, it
Yeah.
was, and then now that she's exercised and stuff, man, she's the dream woman.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
It's so beneficial, like in so many different aspects.
Yeah, like we're meant to be active. We're meant to be
Yes.
doing stuff.
Yes.
And
And I mean, you know, like if you've been gifted like a body that can do so, then like why wouldn't you, you know?
you know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
the thing is, if nothing else, like my body, like I battled the whole time with injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
It's why my last 35 odd fights were minimal training, fight as regularly as possible, because my body couldn't handle the training. Like, it was just, I was always injured.
Yeah.
So the first 13 fights were done over double the time that it took to do the 35 fights.
Yeah, wow.
But those 35 fights I only had really one sort of major injury in that whole time.
Yeah.
But just because my body wasn't made for it. But I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to, you know, it's that whole, one day I get to tell my grandkids, you know, like
Yeah.
one day, you know,
It's great motivation.
yeah, like my kids my dad was a champion.
Yeah,
Well, I wasn't
yeah,
really,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
my dad was a fighter, and see them being proud of something that
Yes.
I've achieved that they haven't got to experience me doing.
Yeah.
But
that's for sure.
they've seen the stories, or they've seen
Yes.
all the videos on YouTube, or
Yes.
they've talked to me about it, and it's no better feeling than knowing that I achieved something which is, you know, for like little Asian girl, you know, like you doing this stuff, this is huge, you know?
Yeah, and I find that even though like Davey and I talk about, you know, like having these stories with our kids one day, especially that, you know, both their parents do it.
Yep.
Do it at this level, like we get really excited about it. But
Yep.
even going back home to the Philippines for my family and telling them that I do it and showing them everything, like, and they're super proud of me.
Cool.
Like, you know, like, I don't have a very rich family in Philippines. Like, I am very rich compared to them.
Yep.
And I'm so, like, lucky to have what I have.
Yep.
But going back home and inspiring them to even just, like, get active or, you know, have a passion outside of just studying.
Yeah.
Is,
Are they basketball people?
yeah, Filipinos like basketball. They like volleyball.
Do you know what was funny? That was what got me back into basketball though, when I was in the Philippines. So before I moved back to Australia,
yeah.
I did that trip, did the 2 weeks in the Philippines to dry
Yeah.
out and whatever. And basketball was so huge there.
big.
Yeah, I was sitting in the airport, like about to fly to Boracay,
You
and
smoked them, you're so tall.
but I was sitting in the airport watching, like, and I was like, whoa, like, NBA?
Yeah.
Like I haven't watched NBA in years. I started watching it at the airport and then like get off at the other end, like I can't remember where you fly to when you go to Barocca. I can't remember the name of the place before you get on the boat to go over.
Yeah.
Get out at the airport and it's playing there and I'm like, I ended up like almost missing my boat because I was too busy watching a game. Yeah, like, and I was like, fuck, I forgot how much I loved it because I loved basketball growing up. Like I was a NBA fiend as a early, like pre-teen and early teen. Their drugs took over. But
it's good to have like things outside of like Muay Thai to get excited about.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, like full circle back to the NRL thing, like Davey and I, when the NRL season is on, we are like get so excited to go home and watch it.
Cool.
Because we get to switch off from Muay Thai. Like Davey and I think, you know, you would understand this when you have a partner that does pretty much the exact same thing you do. Sometimes you can't escape talking about Muay Thai, talking about work. Like Davey and I
100%.
work at the same gym. We train at the same gym. Like we have the same trainers, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
When we have our drive home, it's a 25-minute drive home. We get to talk about everything that we want to about the gym.
Yeah.
And then when we get home, it's just like we don't ban
No,
Muay Thai chat,
but
you know, we're like keen to talk about other things or
something
get into
else.
other stuff. And it's been really cool to get passionate and excited about something that's not Muay Thai because sometimes it can just really take over your life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Which you don't want it to because it's your love and your passion and you want to keep that excitement.
Yeah, you want to be hungry to go back to it when it's 24/7. Like I try not to talk about it too much with my wife. Like same sort of thing. Like she trains a little bit. She used to fight. Trains a little bit. She's got her own business. You know, right now a lot of our evening talks are her venting over the work dramas and running her own business and all that kind of stuff. And she says, why don't you like tell me what's going on with, because I don't really like, my situation now is quite comfortable, but like, like it's, not a lot changes.
Yeah.
Not a lot changes in my life. It's like I go there, I run the classes, nothing really exciting happens, you know. But I love that because I make other things the exciting bit. And then, I've having a bit of a break from the whole fight thing. Like I've obviously got Jason fighting like over in Thailand at the moment and then coming back to start fighting again, even though he's supposed to be retired.
I mean, as a coach, you would get tired too, you know. So just like a fighter, you need a break.
We had, for a small gym, and when I say a small gym, like we have 60 members.
Yeah.
But we had, over the last 3 years, 140 fights.
Wow.
Yeah, we did.
How many fighters do you have in those 60?
Not many, but it's like, Brandon last year had 11 or something.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
It was
good on them though.
Yeah, for sure. And like Panna was he had 11 in his first year.
Yeah, wow.
But it's like,
I wish I could get that. I don't have enough girls in my weight.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. You know what? I don't think, honestly, there's enough girls in anyone's weight to do that though. Like, you either go pro early because there's a few people in the weight division to go pro, or
you jump up weights.
Or up and down weights. Like, because my missus had the same problem as you. Like, she was, for a little while there, I thought she was going to be fighting you, because you were the only two walking around at like 48 kilos.
Yeah.
Like there was literally no one else except for either you do that or you fight Lucy Deadman.
Yeah.
And you did that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But so as far as being a fighter goes, like, I don't want to ask all those usual questions of like, how it all started. We've heard it all. Like, I've heard you talk about it and whatnot. But do you have like an end goal for your fighting, or are you just going with the flow, or are you I want to?
At the moment, I'm going with the flow. I feel like I've said this on a couple interviews, but I'm really big on just like fighting the best.
Yeah.
Belt or without belt.
Yeah. Good.
Like there's a couple girls in Thailand I have my eyes set on fighting. But yeah, like you said, the pool is small at my weight. I'd love to fight Lucy again. I'd love to fight in Japan again. Lots of things. Honestly, I'm along for the ride. If I happen to get like world title offers or international title offers, then great.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing. If they come along, but it's not. Yeah, I get what that.
But
I get what you
don't want
mean.
to fight people for. I don't want to fight for a belt. I want to fight like
The best person. Yeah, the person. Yeah.
And you know, like, and Davey and I talk about it a lot. You know, like there's a lot of shitty belts out there, and you know that. So it's like, and sometimes even the belt. Even if the belt, you know, is decorated great, sometimes the person behind it isn't, you know. So it's like, as long as I fight the best, hopefully, and get those opportunities and fight, you know, with all my heart, then I'll be happy.
Is there anyone in Australia you haven't fought around your weight? Or is there any up-and-comers who are...
Actually, up-and-comers... I don't think so. I feel like Lucy and I have fought a bunch of them already. I feel like we're Lucy.
Did you fight Danny as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually fought her on like 1 week's notice.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I think she was meant to fight Marina.
She was.
Originally.
Yep.
I fought the week before.
So how does that work weight-wise? So what Marina's like...
I think
52?
I think the fight was at 51 or something.
51?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. It was a while ago now. But then we just asked Danny if she could go down. I think the fight was maybe 50 or 49. I weighed in at like 47 kilos.
Yeah.
So we got that fight. So yeah, there's I feel like I fought most all of the girls. So there's a couple of rematches I'd be keen on. Maybe like Caitlin and Lucy.
Yep.
But there are a bunch of girls.
Caitlin's a hard one. Like,
out there as well.
Yeah, like, because she works.
Yeah.
Like, she really works, and she's been around for a long time as well.
Yeah. She was a great fight. I feel like I grew a lot from that fight. And yeah, it's I fought. It's so funny fighting like two Perth girls, but in Queensland. Yeah. So I still yet to go to Perth. I'd love to go and fight over there.
Beautiful city. It's like, have you been to Adelaide?
No.
No. Okay, so Perth's like a bigger version of Adelaide. Same sort of mentality. It's like more of a country town sort of mentality.
Yeah. I'd love to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should come over to Adelaide. You and Davey. We'll go for a road trip up to Whyalla.
Whyalla, yeah.
So,
he showed me his old house on Google Maps.
So I don't know whether Davey's even heard this. They've just had the Prime Minister was just there yesterday, not yesterday, day before. Like,
Whyalla.
Yeah, the guy that took over the steelworks there, which is the only thing that keeps the city afloat, had set the place broke. Like, so the whole town was fucked.
Oh no.
They've just the Prime Minister's just promised a $2.6 billion plan to get everything to.
What are they going to do with the town?
They're like, he's rebuilding they're part of this money is investing in getting a new buyer.
Okay.
This Sanjeev Gupta, the dude who was running it, like, just didn't give a fuck and killed the whole town. Like literally, there wouldn't have been a cent left there. It would have been a ghost town within probably 6 months, I reckon.
Yeah.
But he's got to get a new buyer, all new system. Like, they're going to be upgrading everything there to make it happen again, because 70% of Australia still comes from Whyalla.
Yeah. Wow.
So the construction structural steel, 70% of structural steel comes from there. So
all these fun facts in your head.
Yeah. So because I first met Dave in Whyalla.
You're just trying to get Davey back to Adelaide, aren't you?
Yeah, so he can share a bed with me. He can come. I'll kick the missus out. He can stay with me. How do you feel when Dave fights? Like, how does?
Like, really nervous.
Yep.
But also, like, I love it. I love watching him fight, and he fights.
So do I. I'm actually so proud every time he fights. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, for you, especially, like, you've known. I've seen the photos of you guys when you were young.
Yeah.
Maybe you can cut it into.
I wasn't. He was young.
Oh.
He was young. I wasn't.
It's just like super sweet, and Davey and I talk about this a lot with him. You know, not many people know this, but you know, he doesn't talk to his dad, and you know, not for years. And I always talk about how great of a man Davey is for the fact that he had a crappy dad.
Yeah.
And he always says, you know, I had a lot of great role models through Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And you are definitely one of them. So don't cry.
Oh, that's actually like borderline, eh? Yeah. That's actually, yeah.
And it's like, it's so great to see the love and respect that he has learnt and shows to me as well from, you know, like great men like you and stuff like that. So yeah, like
sweet.
Muay Thai is super important to him, but
I think if I got the initial meeting that I was supposed to have with him, if it actually happened, I think it would be a totally different fucking... Do you know what my original plan was?
what?
So when I rocked up to the hotel, he was in the shower, and I go to Danny.
Wait, is this your first meeting?
This was the first time I ever met him. No, I go to...
I don't think I've heard this story.
No, you wouldn't have. I don't know. I think Dave might have, but
Okay.
I go to Danny. Where is he? He goes, oh, he's in the shower. I'm like, I was going to get naked, and I was going to run in the shower backwards, like pushing him up against the wall with my ass. Yeah. That was going to be my first introduction to him, eh? Yeah.
So wild.
Yeah.
And what did it end up being?
The door was locked.
Oh.
so I ended up just a normal greeting. Yeah. So that was when Danny's arm was fucked.
Yeah.
And Danny's like, oh, can you hold pads for him
Yeah.
to warm him up? I'm like, yeah, no worries. And I just said, like, I go up to him and go, just throw whatever you want, I'll catch it. And he was like so scared that he was going to kick an elbow or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had so much fun warming him up and shit. Yeah, and I got the corner for him in that fight as well.
Yeah.
Got the first round stoppage, whatnot. And yeah, like, probably the hardest thing I've ever done was corner against him, actually. Yeah, like, even though I didn't play a part, it was just me cornering for a tie. Yeah, it was, I really didn't like doing it.
Was that when he fought on Rebellion?
Yes, when he fought Compet Leg.
Yeah.
So-
Back on that topic of watching Davey fight.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking, but honestly, knowing the person that Davey is, I get so excited watching him fight, and
Yep.
he inspires me so much.
Yeah, cool.
I guess he's probably, to me, the most inspiring fighter. He's probably my favorite fighter in the
Yep.
world because of that aspect of
Yep.
how much he inspires me. You
Yep.
know, he just works so hard with everything he does. You
Yeah.
know, PTs, coaching.
He's been one of my
Training
top fighters
himself.
since
Yeah.
I first saw him fight.
Yeah, and he's so exciting to watch.
He is, yeah.
He's so exciting
Yeah.
to watch, but at the end of the day, he never lets anything get too personal, and
Yep.
and I'm so grateful to be in his corner and like watch that, you know, for myself.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And carry those memories with me.
Yep.
So sometimes it's hard. It, like, you know, it breaks your heart when you see him get hurt and stuff.
100%, yeah.
Get hurt, and I'm sure you.
I never
you
had the
felt
joy
that.
of seeing my missus get hurt. No, just kidding. Because I went through, like, I remember I got warned by her, when he goes, man, cornering for your missus, different game. I never had a problem with it.
Yeah, I think everyone's different.
Yeah.
And I know I have some friends that struggle watching their partners.
Yeah.
And some people don't. I feel like the relationship that Davey and I had from the start has really helped us grow. You know, when he first met, he was at my first fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how we met.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he was at my first fight, and he was actually helping out Sitsuthon, the gym that I was fighting. So it's a funny story. So maybe that helped. But
yeah.
like, I feel like he's just seen me grow and has been so willing to be a part of that, like that journey that I've had with Muay Thai, that it's never really bothered him.
Yep.
You know, like he watched me have my first 2 cuts. He was there when I got stitched up, and he just stayed professional but also caring at the same time. Like he didn't make me feel nervous.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't feel, when I see him in the corner, I still see my coach.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like if Davey's the one cornering me, I'll still listen to him, and I don't, you know.
That's a very rare thing. I think I had that relationship with my missus. In the beginning, no.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was doing an interclub with her and I said something to her and she actually turned and answered me back during the middle of the round. So I walked off. I was like, I'm done.
Crazy.
And I said to her, like, don't ever disrespect your trainer like that again. You know, like I think for a moment there she forgot that I wasn't the husband.
Yes.
And I get it. She wants to argue with me here and there. Like it's her job as my missus.
Yeah.
And I'm an argumentative sort of guy as well. And but she, after that, never had that problem. Like in the corner, I say whatever I want. She tells me what she needs to tell me. Like she only fought a couple of times, but I did not. I remember her saying to me, she goes, I don't actually, like seeing you corner for me it was like you're calling for any of them. And I go, that's how I looked at you. Like you were just my student in there. Like the minute that was over, it was, because I remember the first fight, it was like, that was disgusting. I said to her, like, that was disgusting. That was so messy.
Yeah.
Like close to probably one of the sloppiest debuts we've had for the gym. And then a couple of minutes later, we were at the back, took the gloves off, Once the gloves were off, I was like, I'm really proud of you. Like, I love you so much, She goes, I'm so confused. And I'm like, oh, this is husband hat.
Yeah.
Like, that was trainer hat.
Yeah.
Like, this is husband hat. I'm so proud of you for doing this.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you got to this because you had baby fat. That's like, the whole training thing started because of baby fat.
Yeah.
And then it just went on to becoming, to
crazy.
fight. And then she would have kept on going.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for the knee, like, and, we made a deal early on that I call it. No matter how it is, like I'm the manager, I call it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, 2 fights later, she'd done her knee. And, but yeah, she got head kicked in her second fight and like rattled back. And I was like, you're all right, keep going. Like, and everyone's like, man, that was your missus just got head kicked. I'm like, no, it's my student.
Yeah. For sure.
Like afterwards, I'm gonna get like, is it hurt?
Sure.
Like, yeah, it does. Okay, let's worry about that.
For sure.
And I could imagine that Davey in the corner, like he holds pads for you, and he's part of the trainer team, and it's like, man, what he says goes.
Yeah.
He knows the sport better than you.
Exactly. And you gotta respect that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, being in his corner, I find it just like such a privilege.
Yeah.
Because I learn a lot too.
Yeah.
So.
I don't agree with it in a lot of cases, but I actually notice with you guys, there's a professional relationship when it's not when it's in the gym / in fight situations.
Yeah.
Like I would almost never be okay with that with my guys, unless I could see that they could flick the switch like you guys do.
Yeah, I think that's really
and
important.
The whole, you see in the gym, like, sorry, you'll never be cornering for them, like it's that in there, it's when people walk through the door, this is where, the whole not coming into a gym and finding your partner thing comes from. Like it's like you join a gym, your mentality in that gym should be, I'm here to train, this is a professional situation, I'm training with this group of people.
For sure.
And it happens, I get it, it's convenient, you're in the same place all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it happens, I get it. But it's why I don't like that situation, because it kind of goes against the professionalism of our sport.
Yeah. And like Davey and I have very similar goals, and I've learned a lot of professionalism from Davey.
Yeah.
But Davey and I want to have a gym one day, and we want to build that gym's foundations on both our fights.
Should build it in Fishwick. Just kidding. Sorry, Karen.
But it's like that. This part of our lives, fighting together, is like super important to us, and it's just such a privilege to be able to.
Imagine what your kids are gonna think. Like, you know what I mean? That's so good.
Yeah,
that's so good.
It's such a privilege to like live this life, let alone live it with your partner who is so understanding.
Those words, like, it's such a privilege to live this life. Like, I wish more people doing Muay Thai, like my hair's standing on end, because I wish more people would look at it that way. Like, since I started doing this sport and it saved my life and all that stuff, like, this sport is so important to so many people. And if everyone could just look at it like, this is the difference between me being normal and being superhuman.
Yeah.
And committing to being the best version of themselves they can, being someone they can be proud of when it's all over, because it is all over, and it can be over any time. Like, I'm walking down the stairs and I snap my leg and I fall and I hit my head, and I'm no longer a trainer. But up to that moment, I've done, I did it the shit way.
Yes.
But my last 10 years of getting sober, and I think I've made enough of an impact in this sport now that I can be 100% proud of what I'm doing.
Yes.
And I don't have a regret, because I wouldn't be the trainer I am now if I hadn't been the fuck up that I was as a fighter. But as a fighter, if you can be the best version of yourself, like, there's absolutely no reason why you can't do that in every aspect of your life then and go on to be amazing at anything.
Yeah.
At anything. And more people need to realize how much of a privilege it is to be doing a sport with this culture, with this history, with the people that are in it, and the people, like, you just look around, like, man, outside of New South Wales, look in New South Wales right now, like, some of the trainers, what they've experienced, what they've been through, who they are, who they know, who, like, man, like, how can you want to not be 100% with this and be willing to disrespect the history and what people have actually put into it, you know?
Yeah, and I think Muay Thai is like a really great example of that compared to other sports because it's so rooted in respect and tradition and humility that it's like there's no room for, you know.
Yeah, I think 100%. Like, I think if you're doing Muay Thai, you don't have to be a wanker. You don't, you know. I love the whole, you know, like the way, like the Jay Tonkin, James Honey thing. You know, like, I loved that was going on.
Yeah.
They ruined it at the last minute by not continuing it through till the fight. But I think it needs to happen here and there. But it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
It's for, you know, you got to have your villains.
Yeah.
You've got to have a hype train. It's not for everyone. You couldn't imagine Dave doing that. Like, that's not a Dave thing.
No.
You know, like, they're like, oh, you know, let's talk shit about you. Okay, we'll see on fight night.
Yeah, that's.
You know, like, and that you need those guys.
Yeah.
Like, because they're the guys that you go, oh, just gonna get fucking smashed. Oh, hang on, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like, and some people.
But at the end of the day, it's so, you know, everyone's friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is great.
That's really loud, hey.
Plane?
Someone's cutting the lawn down there, but it's also there's a big blower thing on the back of it, blowing all the grass off to the side.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, like, this is actually, like, horse racing track. It's fucking cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all sports are going to have a bit of everyone.
Yeah.
You've got the wankers in every sport. You've got the entitled pricks in every sport.
Yeah.
You've got, but just realise that the sport is bigger than you.
Yes.
The sport is bigger than all of us.
Yes.
Like, I'm very outspoken. If you're doing shit, I'm going to tell you you're doing shit. Like, I don't mean not being a good fighter. I mean doing shit things.
Yeah.
If you're disrespecting my sport, my number one love, then sorry, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm the ultimate authoritarian. You know, like, I'm not the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
I was on the phone before to Alan Wong, who's Flinders trainer, who was, when I came back to Australia, I went there, he kind of guided me into becoming a trainer. If I'm in a room with him and I'm not sitting on a chair, I'm sitting on the floor next to him. Like, that's, you know, it's my Thai ways, but it's like, I don't want to be trying to be even with him.
Yeah.
You know, like, last night I was standing there and Reece Saliba, because Reece Saliba's fought for me before, and he's like, oh, he jumped up for me to sit down.
Yeah.
Like, I like that kind of stuff, not because, you know, I think I'm better than someone else or I think I'm lower than someone else, but I like the idea that lineage also has a top and a bottom, and obviously as a pyramid. Obviously you've got this, and then it gradually goes out, and there's more and more people in here and more. But if this person's been, you know, doing it for this long, it's in the Sakyant, you see it a lot.
Yeah.
I became an Arjan at the same time as Arjan Matt, and Arjan Matt's knowledge is 20 times what I have, and he's 20 times as good at it as I am. But when we're at Y Crew, they're the same. You know, like, it's cool. And I think the same thing happens in Muay Thai if it's done correctly.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you have to bow on the ground and you have to this, you have to that.
Yeah.
But it just means knowing where you are in the pecking order. Coming into a gym, sorry, you're the new guy in the gym. I don't care that you had 20 fights for another gym. You're coming into the gym and you're earning your spot and
you just
fit into the family. Like, make yourself a family member. Don't be an entitled fuck.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you're not entering, you know, it's like, it's someone else's gym.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, Dave came from another gym.
Yeah.
He didn't, just rock up there and I'm top dog.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yes.
it's not how it works.
Yeah.
Same when Max came over, it's like they've got to earn the respect from their peers and and blend in before you can then excel, right? Like before then you get looked after a little bit more or whatnot. You know, I love this sport so much. I love everything about it, except for some of the people. No, just kidding. No, like I love the people who are doing it right, and when people love it as much as I do and respect it the way I feel I respect it. I think if everyone did what that small group of us do, which people call the clique, and the door to get into that clique is never locked. Anyone can get into that clique. All you got to do is show the love to Muay Thai that the people in the clique are doing. Like, sure. So that's my rant. You know what, we're gonna leave that at that. I really appreciate you coming on. This was so good. And
I feel like we haven't sat down and chatted for like
more
than 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, you know, like we run into each other a lot through this, but it's always, you know, fight shows and it's like, hey, how you going? Have a quick chat. And then I get distracted by Davey's good looks. And then
the longest time we spent together was that one time you held hands with me.
True.
I'd say.
True. Yeah. True. That was cool. Well, that was literally just gone 2 years. No, sorry, just gone 3 years.
Yeah.
It was a memory. So I saw the photo popped up of me and Davey that we took, and then the group photo of a few of us in front of the ring that just popped up like last week.
Yeah, it must have been a while ago.
Yeah,
I feel like my technique was shocking back then.
Oh man, I struggled because of the height difference.
Yeah.
My back, my back, having to get down there. Yeah. But no, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's
that was super fun. Do you have a sign out?
Go get my suit on and get ready for tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really sweet. Hope you enjoyed that. For me, it was a really good chat. As you can see, stunning view, beautiful area we're in. Little surprise. First 2 people to inbox me with their name and address, I will send you a Team Pinky t-shirt. Let me know what size you wear as well. They are Asian sizes, so you'd probably want to go one size bigger in these shirts. So yeah, let me know and I'll send it out to you. Aside from that, thanks for your support. Thanks for getting this far. And see you all again next week. Pop and cup.